All right, let's go ahead and talk about today's CPI data report. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Overall, NASDAQ market aggressively sold off as that CPI data report for the month of March came in a little bit higher than what is expected. You guys can see that the forecast for today's CPI data report that we talked about yesterday, 1 hour before the market opens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, had an expectation of 3.4%. For those that are unaware, our previous inflation rate was at 3.2%. So when asking the question, is inflation going away? Is inflation going down? No, not only is it not going down, but it went from 3.2% all the way up to 3.5%, coming in higher than what is expected. So if you are asking why did the market sell off, it's because inflation came in higher than what is expected, and because of that, the Federal Reserve, this is all kind of like what we're seeing it through the eyes of the Federal Reserve. If inflation is not going away, if inflation is not going down, then the Federal Reserve can't really justify a rate cut anytime soon. So when looking at the Fed rate monitor tool that we talked about yesterday, it pretty much stayed at the same probability that the Federal Reserve is going to pause once again, bringing that same concern that the Fed president spoke about, stating that inflation is sticky, and if inflation continues to rise, we cannot expect the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates. And obviously, the market does not like that, because the market, as it's been going up, has been foreshadowing, forecasting, right? They talked about it all of the end of 2023, that in 2024, they want 3 rate cuts. But again, we're already in April, and there doesn't seem to be a rate cut in the up and coming future. I do want to make sure that you are aware that the next FOMC rate decision, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be on May 1st, 2024, and we will be live streaming that for free on the YouTube channel, so make sure that you guys subscribe. I wanted to break this down very, very quickly. Why did the CPI data report come in higher than what is expected? As you guys can see, this is the release for March 12th, 2024. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and refresh this. This is the release for April 10th, 2024. And the thing that I want you to pay attention to is the new month that we added. We pretty much take away the old month of March in 2023, because the way that this is calculated, I mean, there's an exact formula behind it, but a rough way on how this is calculated is you take the previous 12 months of our inflation reports, and that will determine what our inflation rate is. Again, there's an exact formula, so it's not just adding or the sum of all of them, but it's very similar to that. So by adding the new month of March, which saw an increase of 0.4, but again, in the previous piece of the pie at 3.2%, March was only 0.1. So you could see that this month of March for 2024, we were already expecting a pretty solid jump, because we've been seeing a steady increase in our inflation rate in 2024, when in March of 2023, there was only a 0.1% increase on that given month. So if we only take away a 0.1% increase in 2023, we would hope that, again, it would be less. Anything more than 0.1 would therefore then cause our inflation rate to go up. And that's essentially what happened. We can also see, let me go ahead and take a look what all items less food and energy. So overall inflation came in at that 3.5%. And then it looks like we have core inflation, which is all items less food and energy. Let me double check. Here we go. We got 3.5%. Okay. All right, looks like all items less food and energy came in at 3.8% over the last 12 months. And let me go ahead and read this very quickly. So the way that you read this is these are the line items that they are pretty much keeping track of each month. And all we're keeping track of is, for this specific line item, food. Did food go up or did it go down in the month of March? And again, it just goes down the list. So it looks like the biggest drop that we saw in the month of March was a decrease of negative 1.3%, and that came from fuel oil. So it says that fuel oil prices went down in the month of March. I don't know if I would agree with that. I saw actual gas prices go up, but again, that's at least just in my area, right? So you guys let me know down in the comment section. And the biggest increase that we saw in the month of March looks like it was a 1.7% increase and that was in gasoline. Okay, that makes sense. Gasoline, all types, saw an increase of 1.7%. So it looks like energy, again, is a big contributor onto why inflation is still staying a little stagnant. But one of the messages that I sent out to the LPP team is that this was during the pre-market session in Arizona, and it said SQQQ is at the same resistance as before. Again, SQQQ went up as the NASDAQ market went down. And the cool thing about that is that because you're able to identify previous resistance levels, again, the whole point behind that is that you lock in profits at overbought levels. It was at trading at $11. I wanted my team to be aware of, hey, we've struggled to hold above $11 per share. Anytime that we gap up, we sell off. We gap up, we sell off. We gap up. It just wouldn't have surprised me that the NASDAQ market was going to try anything and everything to try to continue to recover from this. And that looks like what it's still trying to do. Now, is the market going to completely turn down right now? It doesn't look like it. I mean, you guys let me know down in the comment section. Does it look like the market's crashing? No. The market did pull back, and rightfully so. Inflation was not good. But if you really think about it, the market probably should have reacted in a much worse way, but it didn't. We did pull on back. We're testing this moving average support, but as we've said it in the past before, market's been incredibly bullish. It's been incredibly resilient, and it will find any and every reason to try to recover. So I would say for the bears, please be careful. And again, let's wait for that confirmation. If we do get that sell-off, great. But as of right now, I still think that the bulls have the ground where they will find any reason to try to recover. So I would just be careful with that. The other thing that I do want to remind you guys is, again, our Corvette giveaway ends in just 4 days. So that means one of you guys are going to be asked one simple question when you announce the winner. Do you want the keys to this Corvette C8 Z51 package, or do you want $50,000 cash? And I want to remind you, everything on the site right now is 20x entries from our t-shirts, our mystery boxes. You can buy anything. One of the make shorting great again, Miami tees, Elon Musk, go after yourself. Literally any and every order gets you 20x entries, and it's technically the best time to enter. So if you guys haven't done so already, 4th link in the description down below. That's at shoptechbuds.com, and hopefully in 4 days we can announce you as the winner of that Corvette or $50,000 cash. Also, don't forget, if you guys want to be able to watch me trade live every morning right at market open, feel free to join our LPP team, and that's that 2nd link in the description down below. I appreciate your time. Hope that we're a thumbs up, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.